Well, I think this is a teenage time. I think they are questioning and they want answers. If you have, I suppose if you have good answers, good reasons as to to sort of like put back, they will internalize that and come up with a good solution. But 30 minutes in the bathroom is excessive. I think you could get even his friends or his or other relatives to speak to him. So 30 minutes in the bathroom is not normal. Correct? Yeah, I mean, you should show him that 30 minutes you can get, you get hemorrhoids and piles instead. Too long. Okay, you can get studies and you try to go on the internet and search on this. You shouldn't spend so much time. That it's not healthy. If you're doing time, you go in there. You shouldn't be reading or doing playing games. Go in and get out. Okay, I understand you have to persuade your son. Perhaps you and your husband should sit down and do some research and put it in maybe a PowerPoint presentation. get these guys here to help you and do a PowerPoint presentation to persuade them.
What about Cecilia? Would you like to comment, or Esther?
Yeah, I suppose if he was like reading his stuff in the toilet, then I was wondering whether you're prepared to just let him know that you could read it outside.
The iPhone you have to go on the software and read it online. Say you read on the iPhone and you have that go.com. Give me a reason that you do reading inside.
Yeah, but you could read it in his room or in the living room. Have you tried that?
Yes, every day you watch TV also for half an hour online. But what my concern is that you go toilet at least, wait for so long, 20, 30 minutes, just to bring the iPhone and read. Sometimes it don't make sense at all. Sometimes I want to think nicely, you see. But sometimes it really pisses me off. I cannot say.
Yeah, I think madam, you also have to manage your own anxiety and stress. Perhaps that I was wondering whether there's another person that your son looks up to, who
Is
you
that
speak with.
the father?
Yeah, someone other than that, a teacher or uncle. Otherwise, I would go with Larina's suggestion to really sit with him and with your husband to discuss some things. Because as a teenager, they don't want to be told what to do, right? I mean, they're not children anymore. So the communication pattern will be quite different. Or work towards joint decision making.
Maybe what I'll do now is just open up to the floor so that if anyone has a good suggestion to share with a fellow parent, would you like to share it now? Anyone? Or the kids? Do you have any suggestion for parents? Turn on the Wi-Fi or the 3G. Okay. If you'd like to have further conversations, ma'am, with the panelists, some of us will be staying back. You can actually consult them a little later on. We will take another one or two at most questions before we call the end of the session. Can we have the next question, please? Okay, if not, I'm going to refer to what you have submitted earlier in terms of your survey. There were questions that were talking about the harmful effects of using the internet or the cyberspace, and I think there was generally some concerns over what is considered harmful. Particularly, there was this inquiry that says that you have a son. He's very engrossed in online gaming, but yet on the other hand, you observe that he does study and he still graduates. He still has good grades, but you hope that he'll spend more time on study instead of gaming, which he says is a form of relaxation. And this person is seeking some advice. So maybe I'm going to ask the panelists as to what would be considered harmful, what would be considered reasonable, especially if this child is playing but yet is studying. Can we have some comments? Esther, please.
Okay. I think that's a good question. It's always on our mind. Like I think what we mentioned earlier in our presentation, it's about balancing and how do we know when we take the balance. So for this child who's doing homework and playing games at the same time, Basically, it means that it does not affect his daily functioning, and he's functioning very well as a healthy individual. He manages his time very well. Yeah. So in that case, we can see that gaming is not an escape. It's not unhealthy. It's just like a recreation that they do. But maybe we do it in our real playground downstairs for some students, or we go to the beach and we play some sports. But for him, it could be one of the many recreational activities that we have. So I think the key point is about whether it affects your daily functioning, and we can do our best. What we can do is really monitor when things have tipped the balance. Means he's losing sleep, he's not doing his homework, or he's not eating properly. Even meal times he cannot stop. So when we find that it affects his daily functioning or his relationship with you or with his friends doesn't go out, he's not wanting to go out, then we know that maybe the balance has been tipped and we have to do something. So yeah, but the technology itself, I think, there are many good effects of it. Just like how we see some of the students, how they present their learning and how they use it in an effective way to learn and to engage and to even connect with friends who may not be in immediate face-to-face interaction time. So it's about how we use technology, just like how we use money wisely. It's a neutral tool, but how can we use it in a very wise way?
Thanks, Esther. We are here actually today for the topic of raising a 21st century child in the digital age. So I'm just going to ask for one last comment, if any, from the panelists with regard to this. Would there be any last comment that you want to give to the parents here?
I agree with external balance is very important in life, and also the fact that we as parents are great role models. We're the best role models for our children. Even though they may be silent observers, I have 3 kids, 8, 6, and 5, and a lot of times they are quietly observing me, but every time, when we talk about things, I always tell them about things that happen. I will talk to them. And I think communication to them is very important because they are always willing to learn. They are like sponges, always willing to absorb. So what we do and how we spend our time and how we live our lives is very important because I just think that the internet and the mobile phone is just another device that just has a rise on the horizon. Like I mentioned, my Walkman, my Walkman challenge when I was young. When I was young, we used to fight with the Game & Watch, the Walkman, and any other mobile device that we had. But now it's just a mobile phone. It's just a different challenge. But basically, what the children want, children just want. They basically, the most important thing to them is acceptance from us. And as we parents, if we always show them that, and we always spend time and communicate with them, I think we are doing a great job as parents. If we do that, yeah.
I just want to reiterate my very key point about relationship. So we heard the kids saying that, Mom, Dad, trust us, So it's really about mutual trust. So you could trust them to be able to manage their homework and then spend 1 hour and things like that. So trust, respecting, mutual respect, and fundamentally, the love for the children.
So with that, let's thank the panelists.
Once again, we want to thank you for coming for this seminar as well as our panelists and our presenters. We'd like to take this opportunity to just show you the slides of we want to thank those people and the organizations that have been involved in this seminar. We would like to also appreciate, before you go, you could help us to fill in the feedback form, and after doing that, you can just leave it at the desk, and then we will collect the feedback form. So we wish you a good evening. If you have other questions that you would like to have personal dialogue, you could, because they are staying a little while longer. Thank you very much.